Hi, I'm Bryn Blaze with the Career Conversations, and today I'm interviewing Joseph Blasz, who is a senior infrastructure engineer at a higher education institute.
Thank you for inviting me. I like the invite and participating in this program.
Of course. Can you start by telling us what your job exactly entails?
Yeah. So basically, uh, I'm the manager of a team of engineers, technology and telecommunications engineers. A couple different levels, two engineers, one myself included, and then two field engineers. And we are basically the stewards for a lot of the facilities that contain uh, uh, routers, switches, things like this, wireless access points, and we also own and maintain the backbone on our facility, which is quite a large surface area. It's very similar to a small city, but it's all the copper and fiber cabling between buildings and nodes and things like this. We're responsible for maintaining it. Um, Setting the standards by which it's constructed, managing the construction for those installations, and yeah, implementing new technologies.
Could you describe yourself, who you were as a high schooler in
Mm,
3 to 5 words?
yeah, 3 to 5 words. I think I was always I wanted I was a hard worker, and I liked figuring things out and
Yes.
challenges. Unfortunately, when I was in high school, some of the curriculum didn't match up with my interests.
I see. I see.
So my grades were all over the place, but the subjects that I really enjoyed, I did very, very well in. I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, the words hardworking,
Hardworking,
uh, selective,
yeah, persistent.
persistent.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Okay. I see.
yeah.
Awesome. Um, what skills would one have to possess to be successful in your career field?
Probably a strong engineering pull. There's quite a bit of engineering, science, math, things like that. That's kind of the base. The nice thing about the engineering, mine's a lot of physical engineering, not just sitting at the desk. We're out on sites, so being outside, working with construction crews, project managers, stakeholders, things like this. If you like people and you like being outside and inside, but you're quite active, moving around the, the facilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, just a general interest in it's very related to construction.
Awesome.
So
In today's society, we have both online at home work and
mm.
also in person work. Would you consider this to be like a hybrid position?
Oh, I think there's pieces of it that could be,
Mhm.
but given the size of my team, we're on site, basically throughout the work week. There's too many things. You kind of have to be there to, go out and document existing conditions, work with a contractor that might be having an issue, site inspections. There are pieces like you could. There's aspects of the job that you can do from home. Sometimes we do that with our team. If they've got a bunch of paperwork, whatever, they'll save the drive and work from home on a given day, which is nice for work flexibility. But yeah, no, it's an on-site job.
Cool. Could you tell us about how you got to where you are?
Yes, I kind of fell into it. I think I was always destined to be in some sort of engineering role. Um, if I'm being honest, I started in the military, and there were three choices on career day. One was I could drive a fuel truck on a flight line. I could have become a police officer, or the career that I went into was technology or telecommunications, antenna systems maintenance. And I really didn't know what that was. And I asked somebody, they said, "You climb towers." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds fun." So that started my whole career. And then I just kind of fell into, install in the installation side. Then the construction management side, and then I got a registration, RCDD, and that started off my design career. I've worked for several design companies in the local area, doing designs around the world. But then, and then basically that led to, um, my job currently.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Um, for those who are planning on possibly not going to college, do you think this route or just going straight into the workforce will open up different
Mm.
opportunities?
Um, that's a good question. I struggle with this. Myself, I have limited higher education
Mm,
experience. However, uh, I, I guess I did it the hard way. I think in some respects it's probably easier to go ahead and get a degree in something,
mhm,
right? And then build your career after that. But I chose a different path. A lot
yeah,
of OJT, a lot of looking for opportunities in different spaces, and that kind of opened my eyes to what I wanted to do.
mhm,
So in that respect, being in the workforce, I was able to figure out, kind of get into the area that I wanted, and then I pursued a very specific education after that. So you there's education
mhm,
that's required no matter what you do. But I think it is important to try to feel things out and
yeah,
figure out what it is you want to do. Now, if it, I guess my advice would be to anybody that is unsure. I think the single best thing you could do is go to a community college, get a 2-year degree, and
yeah,
I don't care, computer skills,
yeah,
business, anything like this. That would give you a good base. It's a low opportunity cost, and you would be in the workforce likely,
yeah.
also. So that would probably be a path if you don't know what you want to do.
Mhm.
So,
And uh, I know one of your coworkers has a degree that's not even closely
oh yeah,
related
yeah,
to what he does today, which, you don't know where you're going to end up, and yet you can still get a career job
yeah,
that's.
that's a good point. Actually, in IT, it's amazing how
Mhm.
many people are in IT at the varying degrees, and none of them match
No.
up with their original their course. I think, like I said, most of us just kind of fell into the job
Yeah.
one way or another, and then we decided we like it.
Mhm.
And it's a weird, it's getting different now, or it's better now. Technology, for when I started, there was certain factions that were, desktop support,
Mhm.
certain areas, but most of what is out there now was kind of grassroots. It's hard to get a specific, or it was hard to get a specific degree. It would be computer science or something
Yeah.
like this. And then that's a broad brushstroke.
Mhm.
Nowadays, I think there are very specific plans and programs and career paths. So once you figure out what you like, it's
Yeah.
an easier
Yeah.
path to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in the next 10-15 years, we have more people that set out to be
Definitely.
communications related, and not, you know, archaeology, let's say. But
But they still might end up in your.
you never know. You never know.
Yeah, archaeology, right?
Yeah,
That's
it
what it
was.
was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's like in the film world, they always say no directors have a film degree.
right.
Like they're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
like.
something else. Right?
What are some challenges you face in your workplace?
Yeah.
Whether they be daily or ongoing.
Yeah, you know, there's many people's communication styles.
Mm,
The nature of construction in and of itself, everything has to be done all at once, in a hurry,
of
on time,
course.
under budget,
Mhm.
and then a lot of construction. You know, this has been one of the most in the last few years has been one of the most challenging in my career. As a result of COVID, there was a big slowdown, almost a stop.
Yeah.
Materials became really hard to get,
Mhm.
and way more, like 30% increase, and a lot of projects were halfway in construction, which was a thing to navigate. That's challenging. But processes and you know communication skills, good scheduling habits and practices. That's kind of what does it. But and with figuring out how to work more efficiently, leveraging technology, different systems, instead of doing, you know, one of my one of my favorite things that I've been able to do is kind of introduce, uh, well, basically to go paperless. All of our technicians were still using paper. Now we've migrated to completely, like, I purchased iPads for them. We got the work orders on their online so they could look at it in the field. Um, Almost all of my construction management tools are online. We'll have them on our computer, our phones. We can go out and record, punch lists, things like this, and then it shows up back in the office, and you can run reports. But yeah, that's.
Awesome. What type of projects do you currently work on in your position?
That's a good one. So my position, I'm the manager of the department. Most of my guys have, set projects that they're working on. I get to dabble in different things like internal initiatives to help workflow between teams. So I'll work on process developments for things, maybe a new software, a new software that comes in. I'll go and try to figure that to help the rest of the teams do things like that. There's it's where I work. There's a lot of opportunity for a lot of different things. We do very basic single wireless access point installs to designing a fiber run in a mountain range in Chile.
Yeah.
So it's pretty vast, but
Yeah.
it's never dull. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of different styles of projects to work with.
That is a pretty cool opportunities that you get to do.
Yeah.
Um, do you have programs or internships for either college students or high school students?
Yeah, the company that I work for does, right? The thing that I struggle with right now, because my team is so small and the work volume is so high, I would like to entertain that in the future.
Mhm.
I just don't have the resources and the cycles right now.
Yeah.
That is something that I would like to introduce, though.
That's cool.
For like summer career opportunities and things. I would like to expose people to this discipline. And one of the reasons that I would like to do that is there's a very there's not a lot of people that do what I do, and it's a weird way to. There's no good career path or educational path to it. It's you fall into it or you're associated with it somehow.
Yeah.
I would like to create some awareness and hopefully get more interest in the field.
Mhm.
There a lot of the gentlemen that or the folks that do what I do. Most of them are retiring right now.
Yeah.
So I would like to see some new blood, and I'm actually trying to do that internally. I'm trying to grow
Mhm.
opportunities on different teams, get them to come in. That's where I do try to create opportunities and
Yeah.
experience and exposure.
Mhm.
I'll ask teams to come and help us for a specific project or maybe a task to give them some exposure to that.
I see.
But yeah, someday I would love to have an internship.
Yeah.
So.
These groups, do they tend to be younger or more like?
Depends on the group. We are seeing, where I work, a lot of people stick around
Mhm.
for a long time,
Yeah.
which is good, right?
Yes.
But also, if we don't create those opportunities, you get these mass exodus of talent
Yeah.
and knowledge, and without bringing up the younger
Mhm.
generation, it's a hard gap to cover
Yeah.
on occasion.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we are seeing a lot of younger folks come into the space. But yeah.
Nice. What collaboration do you go through either on a typical day, monthly basis, yearly?
Oh, it's daily. Um, there's hundreds of departments within the institution that I work for. Um, and they all have very, very different needs, right? Different focal points. So nothing is the same, even though it's
Mhm.
the same basic technology.
Yeah.
The way that they want to use it, where and how. I mean, the environments. It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's an office,
Mhm.
sometimes it's a barn, or an observatory, or fill in
Yeah.
the blank.
Yeah.
It's vast. So that's a collaboration of sorts. I collaborate a lot with our facilities project managers who are responsible for building the entire building. I have responsibility for a system within
Mhm.
that building, but while they work, 3 or 4 large projects, I get all the projects because almost every project that we have now requires technology in some way, shape, or form, whether it be monitoring systems, lighting controls, wireless, of course. Everything needs to touch the network now, so it's quite a lot of opportunity for collaboration, I guess
Yes.
I'd say. So,
Nice. Thank you. One last thing. Do you have any things you listen to, read, any non-academic
mm.
source that you use on a daily?
Yeah, there's they used to call it a trade mag. There's no magazines anymore.
Yeah.
It's online, but there's quite a few things. Actually, the registration that I hold
Mhm.
requires continuing education credits, right? So in the course of 3 years, I have to do 45 credit hours of
Gotcha.
study and things like that. It's not really academic. It's just they introduce you to newer technologies, new ways to implement old technologies, things like that. I attend conferences every so often. That's pretty neat. I like audiobooks.
Mhm.
I at some point you have to read to
Yeah.
take tests and things like that, but I definitely enjoy. I'm more likely to use like an audio, listen to a podcast on
Yes. Yeah.
things like that.
Mhm.
I definitely do. I do uh, like the podcast format.
Yes.
And computer-based training. We
Mhm.
do a lot of
Mhm.
that. That's where I get some of my credits and things like this. And then lunch and learns, they call it.
Yes. Yes.
So they'll come in, company will present a new product or something like that, and you'll get like 1 credit hours.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We do these at the school as well, lunch and learns.
Yeah.
There's a couple that we do, like you get micro credits,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
that you can add to your resumes and whatnot.
Yeah. Very, very similar
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. It's interesting that they still continue that through like
Yeah.
workplaces,
Yeah.
especially at an
I'm glad they
education
do
setting.
it. Then it keeps the registration and the credentials fresh. Doesn't
Definitely.
stagnate. Yeah. They modeled it after like I think the AIA, which is the architects. I forget the acronym, but
Yeah.
they are required to maintain their license or their uh, registration, whatever it is. So many in a year, and they'll do the same thing. So our industry is relatively young in the space.
Mhm.
20, 30 years old, where architects have been around for
Yeah.
forever. So yeah, we were able to kind of copy some of the some of the formats.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Very nice. Is there anything else you would like to say to those listening?
I don't think so. Just I guess my only piece of advice is get as much exposure to as many different things as you can,
Yes.
and try to find your thing that you
Yes.
can fall into.
Yeah. And you can always change it up
Yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
It
exactly.
was very nice having you. Thank you so much for coming in and sitting down and talking with us.
Thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
of course. This will be the end of the career conversation.